All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business today. Gonna check out its local search or city search, see if either of them got BSS. So we're here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, which is full spectrum intent capture. More info on that, pinned video, whatever, pinned post, pinned profile, somewhere out there. And that is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. Those rising are missing some, or those rising are successfully getting all different types of people with different intent all along our intent ladder here into their business, or to know about their business at least. And those falling are, missing out on getting some cohort of these people throughout our intent ladder here. Now, the highest intent people over on the left, BSS, that's what we focus on here. If we're missing those, probably because of BSS. The lowest intent people, but the largest volume of people over on the right. That's our other brand. That's where we talk about BLCS. It's our Boudoir Facebook Ad Doctor brand. That's where we're working with Boudoir Facebook advertisers running more than 10 grand a month in Boudoir Facebook ads. So BSS, we're focusing on social search, Google search, people looking for boudoir photo shoots. The highest intent people closest to the money. So BSS, boudoir search sameness, is when a boudoir photographer has 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. And 0 slots on page 1 means we're on page 2 or deeper, which means we're effectively invisible because the approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. So we want to hit this approximately 80% cohort. We want to get as many of them as possible. Highest chance they click on us. And that means we got to be on page 1. Page 2, we're invisible. Page 1, we got a shot. But even 1 slot on page 1 is not enough because there's 10 slots, 9 other competing boudoir photographers. Everyone's got 1 slot. We look the same as everyone else. And when we look the same as everyone else, well, we get price shopped. They go down the Google search, they literally open up every single link, contact everyone, get a quote from everyone. So we got to show up more. So that lowers the chance of them price shopping us or even knowing other competitors even exist. And 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's not normal to have that few. That's a tiny number of slots on page 1. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. First one, market saturation, basically everyone knows about. Second one, basically nobody knows about. So market saturation, more peeps. Seems like every week, get a new iPhone, get a new, basically new iPhone, turn up their Google My Business profile, got their website, saying they do boudoir photo shoots now. And, someone gets a new camera, they're posting in the mom groups that they also do boudoir photo shoots. So it's market saturation. More sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for every single seller. But this is not really the killer. The actually killer, the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses I've seen, is the false belief of page 1 equality. It's where everyone, accepts, thinks it's normal that, every boudoir photographer gets like 0 or 1 slots on page 1. And, maybe if you added 1 slot on page 1, you get kicked off to page 2. That's normal. That's how it is. And yeah, you kind of just got to take your 1 slot wherever it lands. That is 100% incorrect. And this like an implicit belief. People aren't actually thinking about this and saying, do I agree with this, yes or no? Just kind of implicit, people agree on it because there's never been a word for it for people to agree or disagree or say it's true or false. Now, I know this is false because I went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google in 10 days. So I already know page 1 equality, that's false. That's not even real. What actually is real is Google will give us as many page 1 slots as we want to put in the work to take. And we also know that a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Because look, if we're being pushed off to page 2 and deeper, where we already know approximately 20% of people go, then, I mean, we disappear, and eventually our business, if we stay there, our business is going to disappear eventually as well. So it's kind of a canary in the coal mine. And if we only got one slot on page one, we're like the same as everyone else. We're disappearing as well. So we got our kind of before stay here. Disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. So now here we go. We got a solution. BSS is true with social search saturation, aka our proprietary S-cubed methodology. And we've been working on this for about 7 months. Finally bringing it to market. This is exactly what I used to, again, go from 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 slots, page one on Google in 10 days. And what's magical about this is it's the only thing I've seen that is able to successfully outcompete market saturation. So basically, if we use S-cubed methodology, let's say saturated social search, where the first 300 search results for a high intent keyword for someone looking for a boudoir photo shoot is us and only us. And it's same across all the social networks, no matter where they search. And those are all the same as Google as well. So that's what the first 30 pages is all us. 10 organic search results per page, 30 pages of search results to consume our 300 kind of positions. Now, if we're in whatever Phoenix, Arizona, we got a million boudoir photographers total competing in that market. Everyone's got a website. Everyone's trying to rank on page one. But we've done enough SQ'd methodology to, get those first 300 slots of organic search everywhere, social and, search engine search. Who are boudoir photography buyers gonna see when they search? They're basically only gonna see us. So whose business is going to be growing? Basically only ours. They would have to go to page 31 on Google search to find anyone else. So, and that's if there are a million boudoir photographers, if we do SQ'd methodology enough. So, and if there are a million in our city. So again, SQ'd methodology is the only thing I've seen that allows us to successfully outcompete market saturation. And I got to show my results in it a little bit. Now, once you're with SQ'd methodology, we have page one visibility. So we no longer look like everyone else with either 0 or 1 slot. And hopefully we hit our GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 slots is what we want to hit. Now, an extra bonus of doing SQ'd methodology is we're kicking competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making this invisible. It's the same, kick them off page one for social search, all the social networks, as well as Google. And we know on Google that approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page two. So for the bulk of the searchers, the potential buyers, the more slots we take up at page one, the more they never even see or know about our competitors existing when scrolling through Google search to see, who to click on and whose website to fill out and contact. And that's what we care about, the 80%, approximately 80%, the bulk that's never going to page two. We want to capture as many of them as possible. So every page one link we get is a less boudoir photographer we're being compared against or price shopped against. Now, page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So that's when we get 2 or more, hopefully GBC minimum 3 or more, 3 out of 10 or more. So that's where we're actually being seen. We're not one slot like everyone else, looking like everyone else. People don't even notice us. I mean, they'll click on us, but we really don't capture their attention. 2, there's probably one other person that's got 2 slots anyways. We really got to hit 3 of the GBC minimum, 3 out of 10 to get this, to have this strong boudoir search visibility. And a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So we got our micro universe here. So disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is solved by is caused by market saturation and page one equality, which was the false belief of page one equality. Now we know it's false. Now we also have a solution that can solve it, our S-cubed methodology, where we achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. So my results using this S-cubed methodology for myself. I wanted to rank for the term BLCS boudoir. AO overview, didn't hit that yet. But now we go down to organic search below the Google Map Pack. We got page 1, or organic slot 1, IG, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So literally, dude, this took 10 days. 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 in 10 days for this keyword. And if someone's searching this, who are they going to? You think they're going to the person in slot 9, or you think they're going to click on one of mine or all of mine and see it's all me over and over and over and over and over again, and kind of just say, wow, Google keeps recommending this guy. I should probably go with this guy, even if there are other competitors. It's the sheer volume of how much they're seeing us. Be like, why is Google recommending this person so much? There must be some reason. They must be good. They must be the best in the universe. And so this result I've gotten it for myself, kind of increasing this method over the last 7 months. All right, main event here. Gonna check out this Boudoir photography business. Gonna see if it's local search, city search, if we got BSS here. All right, so we're going to Pooler, Georgia, then Savannah, Georgia. All right, Pooler, Georgia. Boom, we got one. All right, we got one. All right, so we got 1 out of 10 local search. Check Savannah. Let's check Savannah. Boom, we got 1 Savannah. So we got 1 in our city search. All right, so local search we got 1 out of 10. City search we got 1 out of 10. So we got BSS for both Boudoir search sameness, and for both of them we did not hit the GBC recommended minimum. 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 of Google search. So if you're a disappearing Boudoir photographer, meaning you've actually done your local searches, done your city searches for the highest intent Boudoir buyer keywords in your city, and you're seeing you had either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 Google search for any of those searches, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum, 3 out of 10 slots for any of those searches, and you've accepted the fact that the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief, and you actually see an S-cubed methodology is the only way forward, and you've actually been waiting for something like this. You're loving the initial benefits, more slots page 1 on Google. You're especially loving kicking competitors off page 1 on Google, reducing them, page 2 or deeper, where we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never even reach page 2. So make them visible to essentially approximately 80% of the marketplace. And you're looking ahead and you're saying, man, AI is taking a lot of people's jobs right now. It's going to take even more and more people's jobs in the future. Last time that happened, COVID, a ton of boudoir photographers entered the marketplace because everyone's got a super powered smartphone, got an awesome camera, and everyone still needs to earn money. So guess what? You already are anticipating a massive market saturation, already more than, kind of standard people upgrading their gear. So way more on top of that. And you realize, man, you actually got to fortify your position on page 1 Google search. You need to have actually so many links that Google could rank page 1 in Google search that it runs out of slots. And then you start filling up page 2, 3, 4. Basically fortify your position so much that no current boudoir photographer can ever rank on page 1 again, nor could any future boudoir photographer that comes in because AI took their job ever has the chance to rank again. And so you're saying, man, how to get all those links kind of circulating, and you're saying again, S-cubed methodology is the only methodology that enables that. You're also liking that, kind of the way this technology works is we're building up these invisible thematic keyword columns around our brand, basically plug into our brand for the different keywords we're utilizing and ranking for, that every day we successfully execute S-cubed methodology, we're actually increasing the probability to be shown up here way at the top, AI overview. The most premium placement is an organic placement. We can now buy this, cannot pay for this with ads. So increase the probability of being here every day, the most premium placement on the page. There's some people that will just come here, click, and buy from this person. We're also increasing the probability every single day that AI, search apps recommend us as well. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Google Gemini, Microsoft Copilot. Every day we successfully execute SQ methodology or increase in probably these guys recommend us for their, well, basically in their search. And last time I searched for boudoir photographer in a city, I actually ChatGPT. I did with ChatGPT. It recommended me 3 peeps. And then went in and looked manually, Google search, manual Facebook search. And dude, there's like 60 boudoir photographers in the city. So I'm like, man, we got to find a way to get one of these 3, AI recommended slots in the AI search apps ASAP. And you're saying SQ methodology is the only solution that can give you that benefit as well. And you're seeing that the kind of showing up on all these surfaces over time, social search, Google search, and these invisible thematic keywords attached to us. We're actually building our brand at an estimated 8x rate, kind of fast tracking us getting a large, well-known brand in our city, so that market saturation affects us way less. You also understand my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city, so you can actually get all these benefits, build all this AI mindshare momentum in the back end keywords, these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to your brand, kind of your social handles, your name, your website name, and prevent your competitors from participating, getting any of these benefits at all. So we look basically like a massive gap that approximately no competitor currently or in the future will ever be able to overcome. So you decide to be a first mover advantage and hop on this first because you understand the converse, which is one of your boudoir photographer competitors in your city signing on with me first. They get all these benefits, more slots page 1 on Google, kicking people like you off page 1 of Google off to page 2, 3, 4, or even deeper, fortifying their position. So basically none of their competitors, including you, basically ever have a chance to rank page 1 on Google. Build up such a massive backend AI keyword mindshare so that the no competitors, including you, basically have ever a chance to catch up with them, being recommended for AI overview and recommended in AI search, and building up their brand so much faster, approximately 8x faster than any other strategy. And you're realizing to compete in that scenario, you would actually have to rederive SQ methodology for yourself on your own. You would never actually be 100% confident you successfully derived it. And then you'd have to go and successfully equal our daily execution of that methodology. And if you did all that, you would simply be maintaining the current gap me and your competitor have already achieved ahead of you. So to make inroads, kind of make some distance on that gap, close that gap, you'd actually have to double or triple our output every single day. And then if you did that, you actually wouldn't even be confident to put in that much time because, again, you would never be 100% confident you've derived the methodology correctly in the first place. And then even if you did, who's got 80 hours to do all that? So you realize on all that, and you're like, screw that. You decide to be the first mover, sign on first, get this out of the way, make sure you don't miss out on this opportunity. So if that's you, shoot me a DM. The hospital is currently closed for new patients, but when the hospital does open for new patients, shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.